Hey there, everyone. Kick Punch Block Parappa here. And here I got the myth, the legend, the voice, Aphro Dynamek with me.
Good to be here, man.
Man.
Good to see you, bro.
It's good to see you again, bro.
Likewise.
So, today we're here to... Oh, boy. So, this segment today that we bring to you, lovely people, comes from the twisted mind of Raph.
Positively Ralph. He's behind this?
Oh, yeah.
Of course he is.
Definitely behind this. Only he could come up with something like this. He bit it off of someone. At least he admits that, but it's fine.
Fair enough.
So, without further ado, we bring to you the segment that will probably guarantee us to get either demonetized or canceled, whichever comes first.
Here we go.
We bring to you the Dick Bag.
You would. Okay.
So, I'm pretty sure, from your reaction, I could tell that you're familiar with this.
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah. So, I've been handed a list of names. I went over these a little bit beforehand.
Okay.
But no particular order, except for the first one.
Lay it on me.
So, right off the bat,
Mm-hmm.
let me make sure I don't fumble my names here.
Mm-hmm.
Sanford Kelly.
Sanford's cool.
Cool.
No, again, I know a lot of people generally like single out that moment that he had when he was fighting against Rico Suave.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Sanford's generally a decent guy. I know that a lot of people may like see him as a little bit awkward, but like Sanford was just a dude who was again playing games, and like that was what worked for him. Outside of that, like Sanford, he took a step back, got his life in order to like the degree that he wanted to, and like now you see Sanford and like you talk to him, and he's not so much that he's awkward in the sense that like you figured like something's weird. No, like Sanford's just busy.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Right.
So yeah, again, like Sanford, like he does not go in the back.
Gotcha. All right. So Sanford is safe from the Dick Bag.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got Hell Pockets.
Hell Pockets. All right, look. Anybody that tries to talk negative about Hell Pockets, they're going to have to deal with me personally,
Gotcha.
right? Hell Pockets, along with Gibby, they're the only two people that I refer to as Big Brother in the FGC.
This is true.
So anybody that tries to talk ill of those two, anybody that tries to talk ill of Game Goons in general, you're going to have to deal with a very pissed off Aphro Dynamek.
Oh, yeah.
And you can ask around. That ain't something you want to deal with.
No. I thought so. Next up, we got... Oh, here's a little curveball for you.
Oh, boy.
Iori Yagami.
Okay. Iori is one of, like, the... Oh, God. I hate you for this, Ralph. But here's the deal. When it comes to Iori, Iori is one of the legacy characters, and he's hands down one of the most popular characters in KOF, like, period. There's no doubting about that. And part of it comes from the obvious sex appeal. Like I said, I don't care what anybody says.
Nah, he's good looking
again,
too. He's
like
fashionable too.
Again, like I said, the red hair, the belt between the pants. Again, like I said, the open chest. Look, it works for everybody, right? I'm sorry, okay? But when it comes to him just in general, he's one of the characters who has one of the more tragic like upbringings when it comes to like just fighting game characters in general. At the same time, he's somebody who, and I am beleaguered to say this, but he tiptoes and kind of flirts with the idea of almost being the Vegeta of KOF.
That's fair.
And it's one of those things where I don't want to like label him like that because as much as I appreciate Vegeta, he's a jobber. All right. Like I said, Vegeta, he's the guy who gets messed up first so everybody else can figure out, okay, this person is this level threat. We got to figure out how to work around that. And mainly it's always, again, because of his pride. Case in point, like you look at what happened with Cell. And don't get me wrong, like that whole moment in like DBC, like that was iconic. The whole thing where he decided, okay, hey, screw everybody. I'm going to let this happen. And then you see Perfect Cell, and he takes the final flash, face front, mind you.
He does,
and he just laughs. Like there's a reason why I know a lot of people may be a little bit like, on static about this, but there's a reason why, Team 4-Star made fun of him the way that he did. All right. Just on general principle, he did the Final Flash, and like they went all out, and they did the music for it properly.
Yep.
And then like you see Cell, he's got a good chunk of his upper body completely obliterated, and he's sitting there and he's screaming, "You think this is funny? You think this is funny? Oh, this isn't as funny as your face." And then he regenerates, and then like, what the hell does Vegeta have?
Oh yeah.
All right. So again, like. In terms of being a tournament viable character, one of the best. Plain and simple. In terms of canon, he's one of these guys that, again, he needs to get a hobby really, really bad.
Yeah.
He needs to get a hobby outside of music. Let me say that. Because, again, apparently he is an amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
Or amazing bassist. I tend to forget that because, like, I come to find out that, like.
I'm going to have to default to you when it comes to
again, like,
canon and lore
it's
and stuff.
weird because, like, one of the things I remember way back in the day is that I thought that was a guitarist, but I come to find out she's a bassist. But then again, I could be getting that wrong because it's something that pops up so often, but it's something that's mentioned so little that, again, like I said, is she a guitarist, is she a bassist? And I come to find out that it's actually the chick from Fooly Cooley that's the bassist.
Yeah.
So, like, no, Eno's the guitarist. So, again, if he's, like, involved in music, he needs something outside of music because when he's not on the 6 strings, he's trying to kill Kyo. And at some point or another, like, Kyo kind of moved on. I mean, granted, it took him forever to graduate. All right, let's, like, put that out there. Like, Kyo didn't graduate till he was, like, 21? So that had to be a little bit awkward. And
Sakura syndrome.
Again, like, it was just weird. But, like, he does not go on the dick bag.
This is what you've done, Rav. Look at how you got him going, man.
You started this,
He
right?
really started
Don't get me, all right?
So, Iori?
No, he's not in the bag.
He escapes. Next up, we got Snake Eyes.
Here's the thing. Like, I have never had any interaction with Snake Eyes, so I can't talk about somebody I've never held a conversation with.
Fair enough.
As far as, like, what I've seen from him, he seems like a good guy, and, like, I love watching him play. And the mod of Zangief that I saw that made Zangief Snake Eyes was one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, that was
so, like, again, on Dane of that mod, he will not go in the bag.
Nope. Next up, we got, oh boy, Sonic Fox.
God. All right, I can never really say anything bad about Sonic Fox. But the one thing I always say about Sonic Fox that I find really, really funny is that early on when Sonic Fox was just starting out and we were doing the Skullgirls tournaments at Big E's events, I remember him winning the Skullgirls tournament at that particular event. And me, whenever I have somebody on, or whenever I'm at an event and somebody wins, I want them on the mic with me.
Right.
Especially after the end of the tournament. So Sonic Fox comes on, and this is maybe the only time that Sonic Fox has ever been shy about being on the mic. And it was amazing to see that moment and then parallel it against everything that I've seen him, Sonic Fox do afterwards.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not going to put Fox in the bag. Like,
I think you bring that out in people, so no.
Again, like I said, he cannot go in the bag.
All right, so far no one in the bag yet. Let's see if I could change that up here.
That'll probably change really quickly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think
Give
it
it
would.
time.
Team Stickbug.
All right. In the bag, no explanation.
No explanation, in the bag. Next up. Next. Bum.
Okay. This is going to shock a lot of people, but despite everything, I'm not going to put Bum in the bag.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into why, but I'm not going to put Bum in the bag.
Fair enough, my friend. Excuse me while I fumble my notes here. Encore Esports, Barry. Bag. Done. We're in the lightning round now, apparently. DTN Charles.
Again, here's the thing. I have, like, a great many things to say about DTN, but, like, Charles in particular, I don't know. So, again, I cannot hold an opinion of somebody I've never had a conversation with. So, on that day, Charles cannot go in the bag.
Right. This is why we get along so well, man. You give everyone a fair shake, you know?
I try.
The Insane Clown Posse.
Okay. if you were to ask this question of, Dynamic 10 years ago, I would have just on general principle said throw them in the bag. But I'm an older person now. I'm a little bit wiser, and I know a little bit more of what's going on in the world. And I come to find out that ICP does a tremendous amount of good, especially given all the terrible things that have happened recently. So I'm not going to put ICP in the bag.
Good enough.
I mean, I know that might seem like a hot take, but again, guys, like, they're good people, and like they do more than they do more than I do for like the betterment of the world.
Hey, man. Yeah. To keep on that train, hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Okay.
All right.
Here's the deal. There is no way, shape, or form that Aphro Dynamek can put hacksaw Jim Duggan in the bag for one primary reason. One of the years that I went to Comic-Con, while it was still active in New York, I got to meet hacksaw Jim Duggan. And that guy is, one of the friendliest people I've ever met.
Yeah, so
And I've been all across the country, and I've, across the pond. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is, again, an aces dude. Secondly, I am not going to put him in the bag because as big as my hands are, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's hands are bigger.
Yeah, I've heard he's got some mitts.
Yes, he does. And I do not want this coming back to him and finding those gigantic hands around my neck. So Hacksaw Jim Duggan will not go in that bag.
That is a very good reason.
Yes, all right.
Ice Cube. Why is Ice Cube here?
Here's the deal, it's funny because Ice Cube, he's one of those people that again, everybody has this idea of Ice Cube, mainly because they're basing it off of him while he was in NWA and while he was doing music. But the fact of the matter is, Ice Cube is number one, a pretty personable dude, and he's actually really goddamn smart. Apparently, he is a museum caliber authority on architecture. Yes, that's
a first.
Yeah, that's a thing. He again, I believe, God, I can't remember which museum it was, but they refer to him, they come to him whenever they need information about particular types of architecture.
That's nutty. That's the first
so
time
again,
I heard it.
That dude is again, he's incredibly smart, and that's his hobby outside of music and acting. And it's amazing to me that you see a guy who, he came up in a group called NWA.
Yeah.
And for the sake of argument, I'm going to let you guys figure out what NWA is, do the research.
Yeah, you could do the research.
And just look up a little bit of his discography, and you'll understand, why I'm not going to go into that right now. But at the same time, this is the dude who made, Barbershop.
Yeah.
This is the dude who made Are We Done Yet?
Yeah.
So it's funny, but at the same time, like I said, this is a guy who understands every level of the quote unquote game. So yeah, I'm never gonna put Ice Cube in the bag.
All right. See what else we got here. Now, mind you, half these names I don't really know myself, but so it's as much as a shock it is to him as it's to me. But now we got DMC Dante. Not just regular Dante, DMC Dante.
I grasp that. And I'm going to put DMC Dante in the bag for two reasons. Number one, that whole, inside joke with the wig while he was at that carnival stage. That again, I know what they were playing for. I didn't like it. Plain and simple.
I got prefaces. I didn't play the game.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And secondly, I'm not going to lie, compared to what we learned and what we knew of Dante leading up to that, he looks like a meth addict. So again, I'm sorry. DMC Dante,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just not going. Now, if this was DMC Virgil, he would not go in the bag. DMC Virgil is actually pretty cool. But DMC Dante goes in the bag.
Well, we'll keep that in mind if there's a part two to this. Roman Reigns.
Okay, apparently, and I'm finding this out in stages, but apparently Roman Reigns came back, and one, he has a new grill, and two, apparently he's a Paul Heyman guy, and apparently he's supposed to be the leader of the Resistance or whatever the hell they're called. But here's the thing.
I wouldn't know, man.
All right, but whatever the hell it is, look, I'm not going to put Roman Reigns in the bag because he's too stand up of a guy.
Yeah.
Secondly, he's one of the very few people who we've got to see on screen get better and better and better. I know everybody gets pissed off because he's getting pushed by Vince and everything, and Vince is going to put that on a bunch of different people. All right, that's Vince's business. It's his prerogative. I have nothing to do with it. But as far as Roman Reigns is concerned, Roman Reigns, he's too decent of a human being, and we need more of those in the world, especially in wrestling, given everything that's come out recently.
Yeah, that is true. Has his mic work improved at all? I haven't really checked in.
I haven't heard that much yet. So,
All right.
like, anything's going to be better than suffering succotash, right? So, like, just, like, on the general principle, we can move on from that.
Moving on. Spooky.
Spooky, hell no. Who the hell? Like, Rob, was this, again, who
Shock
am I
factor,
asking?
people.
Again,
Shock
like,
factor.
of course, this is your idea. Like, no, I'm not going to put Spooky in the bag. Like, Spooky is basically the grandfather of everything that has made the FGC. Like, what the hell, Ralph? Seriously, man. No.
He's trying to get us in trouble. That's what this segment's about, man.
All right, like, long story short,
Yes.
no. Spooky.
Okay.
Yeah, Spooky didn't. No, Spooky's not going in the bag.
All
Are you
right.
kidding me? Like, who did? Oh, don't worry.
Boris the Blade. Boris the Blade.
No. Boris the Blade does not go into the bag because the level of invulnerability is something I aspire to.
Okay. All right.
And besides, he dodges bullets, so.
I mean, that's pretty good. Jin Kazama.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. When it comes to Jin
Steve's dying over
Kazama,
here. Go ahead. Yes.
here's the deal. When we were teased with Devil Jin in Tekken 3, I thought it was the greatest idea ever because, like, it was just something that we didn't get to see. We got to see Devil Kazuya,
Right.
but we didn't get to see a character who had two different sides. Like, he had such an opposing nature within himself, and Jin was that. Basically, he was Zuko before Zuko became a thing, all right? And when it comes to Jin in the games after Tekken 3, I love the fact that they rebuilt him from the floor up in Tekken 4. I absolutely adore the fact that we finally got to play as Devil Jin in Tekken 5. But after that, Jin falls flat to me. He's just this kid who...
In the canon.
Exactly. He falls flat to me. Again, like, he's always going to be an awesome character to play as. No doubt about that. But when it comes to, like, the canon, again, it just... He has all of this stuff handed to him on Dana, the fact that he's technically a Mishima. And he's doing all this to oppose his Kazuya. And, all right, yeah, I get it. And the whole story mode from Tekken 7, it was awesome to see some finality and some closure between the story of Kazuya and Heihachi. But now, like, almost by cliche level, we got to deal with Jin and Kazuya now. And I'll be blunt, I'm kind of not interested in seeing that. I saw it in Blood Vengeance, and that was fun as hell. It was cool, and I appreciate everybody who did the English voice work. Especially shout out to Jameson Pierce for doing Heihachi's work. But after that, I don't need to see it anymore.
So
again,
you have
Jin,
a point.
He goes in the bag.
Going in the bag.
If you would, again, like seriously, if you had asked me this question after Tekken 4, and only after Tekken 4, I would say no, Jin doesn't go in the bag. But like we're 3 games later now, yeah, Jin can go in the bag.
Yeah, all right. Yoshitori Ono. Yoshinori Ono.
No, I'm not going to put Ono in the back. Like I said, there are a bunch of things that, like, Ono was privy to, and Ono was kind of like he had no choice but to go along with. But at the same time, he wasn't, pushing force behind that.
Yeah.
And, of course, like, the dude walked around with a Blanca toy everywhere, and Blanca was my favorite character in Street Fighter 2. How am I going to knock him for that?
No,
he's not going in the bag. No.
I got a soft spot for Blanca, too. And we alluded to this before. Like, I'm very curious on what stories are going to come out years from now from behind the scenes in the past decade at Capcom.
God.
Yeah.
That's going to be a documentary.
But that's for another day. Right now, is Kratos a dick?
Yes, Kratos is a dick.
Kratos is a dick.
Again, like I said, there's no way of getting around that. Like, Kratos was, like, a dick from the beginning all the way up until, like, the new version of Kratos. But that was mainly because, again, he was completely removed from that. You know, like, the one thing that I always appreciate, but at the same time I lament about Kratos is that Kratos is a predicate. Kratos is the one that the action is happening to. Like, depending on how well-versed you are with the God of War story before the 2018 game, everything that happened to Kratos was so far out of his own choice, so far out of the realm of what he can control, that he just became a pawn. It's like Thanatos said at the end of Ghost of Sparta. You're a pawn in a game you don't even know is being played. So on that vein, like, he had no choice, no option whatsoever. And because so much happened to him the way that it did, Kratos is a dick. He's still one of my favorite characters, but he's still a dick. There's no way of getting around that.
This is the real-life Kratos, by the way. Here's a name you haven't seen in a while. Random Fiend.
Again, look, I'm never gonna put Random Fiend in the bag.
Yeah.
Right? Random Fiend is too cool, and
Oh,
I'm not gonna
man.
put him in the bag. All right. Again, like I said,
Peer pressure.
in the like no very beginning, like when I first met Random, like he was somebody who had an idea, like he knew, or like he was still trying to figure out what he wanted, and through the weirdest chain of events, I ended up being the guy who like ended up trying to help him, and I would like to hope that I helped guide him in the right way, guide him in the direction where he needed to be. But from what I've seen of him lately, I mean, he seems happy, he seems well versed, he seems silent when he's doing so. It seems like everything turned out well for him, so no knocking on that. But again, Random Fiend can't go in the back.
Abundantly talented, he's a sweetheart. We love Cisco. Raf's trying to get us canceled.
Right. Yeah.
Justin Wong.
Justin Wong. Justin Wong is a pillar of the FGC. There's no way about there's no two ways about that.
Yes.
At the same time, the one thing that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of with Justin Wong is for the simple fact that I remember the first time that I was out in Evo. No, I take it back. It was the second time that I was out at Evo, and he ended up winning the Fighting EX Slayer tournament, if I'm not mistaken. And while I'm not knocking you for that, if you're gonna play a game, like play to win, but at the same time, Justin's got all of his accolades. He's done as just about everything that there is to do as far as the FGC is concerned.
Right.
So at that point, he didn't really need to do that. He didn't really need to be the guy who took that tournament. Somebody else could have taken that tournament, and somebody else could have taken the push and been popped up on the pedestal that would have given. It may not have been a high pedestal because, again, it's still Fighting EX Slayer. Yeah. But it still would have been something that, like, he or she, for that matter, like, could have really, really used and could have used to push themselves forward.
Yeah, take a step back.
Exactly. So, again, like, I appreciate what he's doing now in terms of, like, creating YouTube content, streaming every now and again, and putting, shining a spotlight on a couple of games that really didn't get the shine they deserved when they came out. Case in point, like, I love his Martial Masters video. I absolutely adore that game. But, like, when it comes to competition and everything, it's one of those things where I appreciate what he's doing and I understand why he's doing it, but me personally, I kind of wish that for certain games he would take the step back and let others, like, flourish. But I'm not going to put him in the back.
Fair enough. Good point. Next up, we got, what the hell? Elon Musk.
Oh, my God. Okay, super random. And, but just on personal principle, put Elon in the back.
All right.
Yeah. If for no other reason than what he named his child, all right? That was a dick move. Okay. My God.
I'm not in the chair. I'm just a host.
Yeah, but still.
IFC Yipes.
I'm not going to not Yipes, all right? I'm not going to put him in there. Like, Yipes was one of the people when, like, I was doing my come-up to try and, like, be the, like, KOF announcer for, like, the bigger events. I spoke to Yipes at an event. I can't remember what it was. I believe it was a Mash Fest, but it wasn't a Mash Fest held at the M1 Lounge. And I just simply asked him, given everything that I'm doing, do you think that, like, I'm going to get there? And unfortunately, I don't think he was paying attention to the conversation. So he may have, like, he kind of, like, trailed off into something else. And I'm not going to fault him for that, like, because at the time, I was a nobody. Right. Like, seriously, like, I hadn't even started commentating yet. Like, I was barely visible at a lot of different events. I just happened to be there. So any, schlub coming off the street asking IFC Yipes, of all things, a major question, I'm not going to put no fault in for that. I'm not going to put him in the bag. Like, I've suffered a little bit because of some of the things that Yipes has done, but I'm not going to put him in the bag for that.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Here we go.
Revolver Ocelot.
Put him in the bag.
Put him in the bag.
Put him in the bag.
It don't matter if he's got the best gun ever. He's going in the bag.
He does have the best gun ever, and he's got the best handle skills ever. Like, I shudder at the idea of what Revolver Ocelot would look like if he ever took up basketball. All right? But, again, like, just on general principle, like, just put him in the bag. Like, he's the guy who's, like,
there, baby.
He's always going to be working another angle. He's always going to portray the person who's employing him at that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Until he's the only person left to be employed. So, again, he's put him in the bag.
Or he loses a hand.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. Low tier God.
Back.
And that's that. Grunkle Stan.
Look,
I haven't
Grunkle
seen
Stan-
Gravity Falls either, so
All right, look,
my sister's screaming at me, but go ahead.
Yeah, look, Grunkle Stan is one of my favorite, fictional characters, all right? Like, he's somebody that, you remember back in the day, and you would remember this. Like, I had the Malloy list, which was characters outside of just a general, FGC canon that I felt deserved to be in a fighting game. And Grunkle Stan was on that list for the simple fact that, again, during a pseudo-zombie apocalypse, Grunkle Stan showed up with a baseball bat and brass knuckles and started duffing people, all right?
I give respect.
And when he got to the point where somebody broke his bat, he took out the brass knuckles, started capping people, and said, who else wants some, all right? Grunkle Stan ain't going in that bat.
Oh, man. I'm convinced.
Man, please.
Okay. Seth Rollins, another Shield member.
All right. Put him in the bag
for
one simple reason. He hooked up with Becky Lynch. So that's jealousy. All right. I'm going to put that out there outright. That's simple, petty jealousy.
There it is. Oh, man. Patrick Mahomes.
Who?
Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, hell no. I'm not going to put him in the bag, man. I said it again. I remember. It took me a little while because I constantly forget his name, but I know who it is.
I think this is a typo.
Probably, yeah. I constantly forget his name, but I know who he is. But again, like I said, outside of him sounding like a Muppet, I'm not going to hold any of that against him, all right? Again, like the guy's an incredible incredible football player, so I'm not going to hold that against him.
He does play baseball, so he's
he does?
Well, he started with baseball.
I didn't know that.
His father's a pitcher.
Okay, I learned something new.
Major league pitcher. But
all right,
yeah,
I'm not going to put him in the bag. Again, like his voice isn't enough reason to go into the bag, all right? It's funny, but it's not enough reason to go into the bag.
Oh, my God. Things are unraveling here thanks to Raph. And here we go. Mike Z.
Bag. Like, honestly, guy, like, if you have to ask why I'm putting Mike Z in the bag.
It's a very time-sensitive
Yes, it is.
Here, yeah.
And, like, again, I take a little bit of personal stake in that because, like, when I first started with KBB, one of the main things that I did was that I put in a tremendous amount of work to make sure that Skullgirls got representation as many places as it could. And to come and find out what he's been doing and why the statement wasn't released after what he said during that charity stream, he's going in the bag. And as far as I'm concerned, he can stay in that bag rent-free.
Permanent spot. Moving on to something a little more goofy. Ignis.
Bag. Seriously, again, do I have I'm allowed to curse on this, right? Okay, yeah, seriously, fuck Ignis. All right, honestly, God, just in terms of fighting against him, I hate fighting against Ignis. Man. Right? In terms of just him, when it comes to KO of lore, he's a complete asshole. All right, just generally, he waited until they got to the lair and everything. He killed the boss of Ness right in front of everybody, and then just decided to be a complete dick to fight, to fight against. So yeah, seriously, he can go on the bag.
Good.
I wish y'all would have told me that I can curse earlier. All right, honestly, God.
Oh boy. Anyway. Maybe more incoming. Punk.
Okay. I really got to think about this, but unfortunately, I have to put Punk in the bag. And I do this begrudgingly because I remember a really, really, this is a whole ships passing in the night thing. And Punk has to go in the bag simply due to the fact that I went to an event in Philly to commentate because I went to, Nerd Street Gaming when Kyle McFarlane, a.k.a. Buck, he was running things out there, and he asked me to come out for KOF commentary. And that's no problem. I would have done it on a heartbeat. And I heard Punk say something. I'm not going to repeat it, but I heard him say something. And, as good as he is on the sticks, I lost a decent amount of respect for him that day. And it soiled everything I watched him do beforehand. So, again, it's with a heavy heart that I got to put him in the back.
Fair enough. Maybe the opposite end of the spectrum. Coach Steve.
Oh, no, I'm not going to deal with Coach Steve in the back. I've had to, deal with Coach Steve while he was supremely drunk. But, I'm not going to consider him, a dick because of it. All I did was, again, he just, got a little bit carried away.
Yeah.
And that happens to everybody. I'm not going to hold that against him.
True. Nah.
No. Also, he, right now, I don't know if, you've seen Coach Steve recently, but he looks like, Aladdin from The Dictator right now. So, again, on general principle, that's too funny. So, I'm not going to put him in the back.
All right, then. Oh, boy. Here comes another 20 minutes. Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Back.
All right, maybe not.
Like, that's not even, like, that's like a foregone conclusion. Just in
We
the
should
back.
have the staples. That was the easy button over here. Nega Duck.
Nega Duck. You know what? I'm not going to put Nega Duck in the back.
Right.
And that's primarily because of the, like, latest iteration of DuckTales. I don't know if anybody got to see, like, the Darkwing Duck episode of the new DuckTales.
No.
But, like, watch that, and it becomes such an incredible origin story for Nega Duck. And I'm not going to spoil anything because, again, it is.
Yeah, please don't.
Dude, like, seriously, honestly, it is too brilliant. Okay? So, yeah. Go watch, like, the Darkwing Duck version of the new DuckTales, and you'll understand why Nega Duck's not going in that bag.
Yeah, it sounds good. Something to look forward to, for sure, man. Eric Big E Small.
I got to put Big E in the back. I said again, like, Big E, he unfortunately becomes, like, a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, he
far too often. Now, I remember when, what was it, like Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 4, where they decided to, like, because it was on 360 beforehand, and they decided to port it over to PS4.
That sounds like Marvel 3.
Okay, again. Okay, it was 4. All right.
Oh, 4 too,
and,
yeah.
like, here's the thing. Like, he ended up being the lab rat for that experiment.
Yeah.
And it was
that, yeah.
kind of a disaster. And he ended up getting the, shit end of the stick on so many different things, particularly when it comes to Capcom. And, again, like, on general principle, like, he's never done a disservice to me. And, like, as far as I can tell, and as far as, like, the stuff that I've seen both in front of the screen and behind the screen, like, Big E, he's doing literally everything he can for, like, the Northeast Corridor. So, no, I'm not putting Big E in the back. He deserves more credit than he gets, to be honest.
All right, so you might have to help me out with the pronunciation here, but we got Big Bully Busick.
This is Ralph's, influence. I'm not going to put Big Billy Busick in there. Simply due to the fact that, again, first off, I'm not mistaken, I believe, like, who was his manager?
I forgot.
Okay, all right. Like,
I wouldn't know.
I'm not going to put Big Billy Busick in the back for the simple fact that he had, hands down, one of the most glorious mustaches in professional wrestling.
Oh, that's
period.
kudo points right there.
All right.
Aphro Sanchez.
Okay. A little bit of a story here.
Oh, yes.
But originally, a small part of me would have just wanted to do it just to be vindictive. But after a particular episode that we dealt with last year, Arturo came through on a real clutch.
Yeah.
And he ended up doing something that, honest to God, like, in a million years I would have never expected. So, on general principle, for him being the stand-up guy in that moment, for him being the dude who literally saved what happened, he's not going in the back.
This is good. It is true, though. We are winding down to the bottom 3.
Oh, Lord.
Or the last 3,
I
should
saw
say.
the name.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of gonna fumble.
I know who it
pronounce
is. So
Nobu Inagaki.
Bag. All right. You don't have to fold it up nicely. You could have crumbled that one up and then dunked it into the bag. But yeah, Tomonobu Inagaki, he goes into the bag.
All right. To be fair, not too many dicks in this pile here. Henry Chen or Sen, depending on the pronunciation.
Oh yeah, it's Henry Sen. Like, I'm not gonna put Henry Sen in the bag, man. Like I said, like Henry Sen, like, he's one of the guys. Like, he's providing a service right now, and he's providing a service, and he's been providing a service for the FGC for years going on. There's no reason to, like, hold anything against him. Right. Like me, like, I haven't, like, sat down and had a whole bunch of conversations with the dude, and I can't say that I know him personally, quote unquote, like that. Right. But just on general principle, what he's been doing for the FGC for years now, I'm not putting him in the bag.
Last name, you ready, my friend?
Lay it on me.
Thanos.
Thanos? Can I, like, just get a bit of a precursor here? Are we talking about MCU Thanos or comics Thanos?
Judges?
MCU, that's the one everybody knows.
All right,
MCU. Fair enough. MCU Thanos, again, I am putting him in the bag begrudgingly because while I understand why he did what he did, the fact that he had to do it was unfortunate and it was uncomfortable. And it, like, led to a lot of those moments where you see somebody who is so dedicated to his purpose, but he has to make the sacrifices. And for anybody who's an MCU fan, you know what sacrifices I'm talking about. So on Dane of that, it is to begrudgingly put him in the bag.
Yeah. So we're out of names here. Thanks for watching, everyone. However, I do want to note that lined in the bottom of this bag here has KPB Cybernetico. Just so you know. Until next time, I'm Parappa. This is Aphro Dynamek.
Yeah.